Okay, so I spent the last, I don't even know, up till this moment, moving stuff. So I have a totally different arrangement here. You can't really tell. The angle's a little different. You don't see the microphone. Um, so the angle's a little different. Hopefully the microphone's picking it up okay. I'll move it closer if I need to. Um, so the angle's a little different, a little wider. This camera's a little different because I had to move it as well, and I had to move the monitor. So that one's a little different. And this one's not going on. If I can get it to go on. Oh, the heater. Todd. I'll have to do my penance. What's my penance when I forget to turn the heater off? Think about that, Todd. Think about what's my penance when I forget to turn the heater off. Okay, so see, go there. It is. There's a GoPro. GoPro's on. All right, good. See some GoPro. Whoops, I'm in my pajama pants. See, I'm busted. Totally busted in pajama pants. All right, so that's the new setup. So I have one, two, three laptops, and I have ready for this one. I have one, including the laptops have their own monitors. So I've got one, two, three, four, five, six, seven screens in front of me, and I'm still going to screw it all up. But I have a little more room. Look, I have at least a little more walking room. The Death Star got moved accidentally today. I'll have to re-hang it. It suffered some serious. It sustained some serious injuries actually. Um, it got caught in mid fall, and luckily it didn't hit the ground because I was expecting like to be bursting. But the Beatles, Yellow Submarine, did sustain major injuries. Um, but we'll get there. We'll get it fixed. It happens. Now, while I was cleaning and rearranging, because I had to move the entire desk. So the desk I had before is over here now, and I have a new desk here. This is this adjustable one that has got different levels, and the wiring had to be all redone, and it was a lot of work. But I did find some things. So I know what I was doing 2 nights ago, because today's the 23rd. So last night. So I know I was doing last night in 2014. Last night in 2014, I was, dang it. Well, apparently that camera's not going to work. Sorry, I thought I had it going. It was on for a second, but not. So what I was doing 2014, 1 night ago, was this. Johnny Marr at the Newport Music Hall. I remember that show. I was like, oh yeah, that was the first time I saw Johnny Marr, just as Johnny Marr. Newport Music Hall. It was a Saturday night, November 22nd. It was quite the party, and Johnny Marr did a great set and did a great show, and I was like, well, that's awesome. And while I was then digging, I also found something I missed just a couple days ago, Newport Music Hall, Silver Sun Pickups. And that was in 21 that we saw the Silver Sun Pickups playing. And that was on a Monday night at the Newport Music Hall. Silver Sun's Pickups. They did a big room. I know they did a big room that day. And I found some other stuff from Silver Sun Pickups, but yeah, so I'm going to try and find, I'm going to try and find, how about I'm going to sort over the next period of the rest of my life the amount of ticket stubs that I have, because I just have ridiculous stacks. I mean, just what I found today through a couple boxes, I have ridiculous stacks of them. In my office, I have unbelievable stacks of them, and they're everywhere. Literally, I'm like, oh, here's a ticket stub. Oh, here's a ticket stub. Every time I go somewhere, like I look, I'm like, oh, look, here's more tickets. Yeah, they're just everywhere. They just kind of get thrown in places. They were in my pocket, so I would drop them and put them into something, and then they'd get floated into a bin or a bucket or crap that moved from the table to the sill to the downstairs, and memories of music. Lots of memories of music. So many. It's not even funny. All right, so don't forget to like this. Set your notifications so you know if I decide to do this early coming up on a Thanksgiving Day or something, just so you know, maybe. I don't know. I'm forgetting passwords, which really sucks. I've got a couple different things I'm trying to get into. One is a laptop I don't have the password for. and I'm really, really unhappy about that. So yeah, look at this. I was doing an entire like run through list of password things that it could be, and none of them. I'm not running into any of them. So none of those worked. They were all old ones that I had changed many, many years ago and stopped using. But I was like, crap, I don't know what the password is for this computer. Damn it. I just, you have to write that stuff down when you have too many. What can I tell you? All right. I didn't change the header picture today. I was going to, but then I got lost in thought, and I still have Halloween up. So I started to take down Halloween because it's Thanksgiving in 4 days. So I need to take down Halloween tomorrow and start getting Christmas ready because I don't really have Thanksgiving decorations. I mean, it's kind of that. But yes, so I need to take down Halloween and start putting up Christmas. So that's what I'm going to have to do tomorrow. So that's going to be a thing. Maybe I'll take a picture of my attic. You can see what a hassle is to get stuff. I have to climb up this little like ladder that I cut into the ceiling to get into this very low triangular space that I have to wear knee pads because I have to crawl and like grab the stuff and pull it out. It's overloaded with crap. Mostly skeletons from Halloween. Don't ask. I just, there's too much crap. And this camera's not going on. I have no idea what's happening. I had it working. You saw it. All right. Anyway, I need to find a new place to put my pad because my area got bigger / smaller at the same time. So all that stuff. Anyway, all right. So remember, there is no rhyme or reason to this. It starts, there's movie stuff, there's TV stuff, sometimes musical stuff, mostly musical stuff. And it goes from decade to decade. From hell, we're going to go back to the 20s on the first one and all the way up to current at some point. All right, here we go. 1923, this is a movie thing. Cecil B. DeMille. Now, the only reason I'm referencing Cecil B. DeMille is because I was talking today about my editing skills. And every time I try and edit something, I always say, yeah, I try to edit like Cecil B. DeMille, this grand like thing. Today, Cecil B. DeMille's 10 Commandments was released with Charlton Heston and Yul Brynner. If you remember the 10 Commandments, if you've seen it at Easter time and watched that, it's that epic Roman, let my people free, says Yul Brynner, releasing the Jews from bondage as he parts the Red Sea and all the stuff in the 10 Commandments. Good old Yul Brynner is steadfast to not do such things as the Emperor. Ramses, you bastard. But anyway, Cecil B. DeMille, the 10 Commandments were released on this day, the 23rd of November. I was like 23rd, yeah, 23rd of November in 1923. In 1960, and I thought this is a little bit more recent, or I thought it was further back. Tinseltown dedicates its Walk of Fame at Hollywood and Vine. So the stars, 1960 on November 23rd. I thought it was like in the 20s or the 30s that they started doing Hollywood stars. Apparently it was not. And the first one happened on March 28th of next year of 1961. And the guy was Stanley Kramer. And he was a producer and a director. And it was for all his contributions to the Hollywood thing. So he was the first guy in the Walk of Fame. No famous actress or actor. Just a producer director. I mean, you have to have producers directors. But I was a little sort of like, oh, all right. 1960, I didn't realize it was that recent. In the grand scheme of things, recent. I just thought Hollywood's been around since the 20s, so I thought maybe they capitalized that early. They did not. I feel fine. Thank you. Thank you very much. I do. I feel fine. Also, the Beatles felt fine on this day in 1964, and they released the single, I Feel Fine. 1975, David Bowie. 1975, David Bowie premieres on primetime TV on the variety show Cher. Not Sonny and Cher. Sonny was already gone at that point. It was just Cher doing her thing. He sung his hit single at that moment, Fame, and apparently he did 2 duets that I didn't care to look up with Cher. I was like, I don't really care what you did duets with Cher at. You know, play what? I Got You, Babe. That's like you did it with everybody. Which I don't really wanted to hear Bowie singing I Got You, Babe. I'd be like, no, bro. Seriously, come on. Bowie. Fame, yes. I wanted to see that. So I did look that up. That was okay. 1991, Freddie Mercury at the age of 45 comes out and confirms he has AIDS. He dies the next day, November 24th, 1991. I mean, I have AIDS. Peace out. That was pretty much it right there. Freddie Mercury. So he'll be on the list of gone tomorrow. 1993, not gone. The man who smokes 80 joints a day, Snoop Dogg, released his debut album, Doggy Style. It becomes the album of the year in 1994 on the Billboard charts. 80 joints a day. I still can't get over that. Still trying to compare like what that reckons to. 4 packs a day, but damn, it's a lot of weed, man. I'm telling you. Snoop, put down the pipe, man. I'm telling you, brother. Oh, man. All right. Ohio famous and proud. Here we go. Sheet metal worker Louis Blayton was arrested after punching Elvis Presley in a hotel in Toledo. Oh, thanks. 1956. Blayton claimed that his wife's love for Elvis had caused his marriage to break up. He was fined $19.60, but ended up being jailed because he was unable to pay the fine. Yeah, Louis, I'm thinking that your marriage broke up because you couldn't pay a $19.60 fine in 1956. I mean, come on. I mean, sure, money was more like valued, but $20? You couldn't pay $20? So I don't know. I'm thinking that there was more things than just her love for Elvis that broke up your marriage. Maybe you were a crazy jealous person. I don't know. I'm not blaming you, but it just seems that there's a little bit more to the story than just punching Elvis because your wife didn't want to be, I don't know what. 1962, the Beatles traveled to St. James Church Hall, London, for a 10-minute audition with the BBC television. The audition came out when the Beatles fan David Smith of Preston, Lancashire, wrote the BBC asking for the Beatles to be featured on BBC television. Assuming that Smith was the Beatles manager, the BBC wrote back to him offering the Beatles an audition. Smith brought his letter to NEMS Enterprises, and Clive Epstein, Brian's brother, arranged for the audition to take place. 4 days later, Brian Epstein received a polite thumbs down letter from the BBC. I love that. So he impersonated the Beatles manager, got this audition on BBC TV in 1962, and then the BBC said, we're going to pass. I love that. I mean, that's like the ultimate imposter syndrome, because it was not the syndrome. He was truly an imposter. I love that. 1967, a 16-date UK package tour played its 7th night at the Sophia Gardens Pavilion in Cardiff, featuring Jimi Hendrix Experience, Pink Floyd, The Move, The Outer Limits, The Ira Parent, and Amen Corner. The Entourage performed twice nightly. In 1974, Pink Floyd returned to the venue, which has since been demolished to be replaced by the Really Welsh Pavilion. Twice performed nightly. I'm thinking like, what, went up like 6 o'clock and then 9 o'clock, a 3-hour, like, wow. That's, all right. Todd, where are you, Todd? What's my penance? What's my penance for forgetting to turn off the heater? I mean, the problem is that, see, I forgot the other day to turn it back on, and it was cold as hell in my house. So it's this which is worse, the noise during the show or freezing in the morning? I think it's the freezing in the morning, so I'll try and remember, but I can't make promises. I mean, I can't remember my freaking password to my own laptop. How bad is that? And of course I didn't write it down anywhere. Why would I? And it's not my password keeper because that's my laptop. I use it all the time. Apparently I didn't use it all the time enough. Which I'm just like, are you kidding me? Wow, brain dead. Just. I am Generation Alpha. Brain rot. Just there. 1970, George Harrison released My Sweet Lord. It was Harrison's first solo artist chart topper worldwide and the biggest selling single of 1971 in the UK. In America and Britain, the song was the first #1 single by an ex-Beatle. So he beat McCartney to getting the #1 first time. Harrison originally gave the song to his fellow Apple recording artist Billy Preston to record. Preston turned it down, and Harris decided to record it himself. What those things are like, those opportunities where you feel like, yeah, I should have taken that risk. That's what you won't see on my tombstone. Would've, could've, should've. That will not be there. There may be other expletives, but those will not be it. I definitely am not one to shy away from trying new things. Let's put it that way. All right. One hit wonder. Now remember what one hit wonder is. That means you had one song only that ever charted. Doesn't need to be #1, but it does need to be top 40, and it can be the only song you ever had chart in the top 40 in your entire career. So Billy Swan started a 2-week run at #1 in the US singles chart with I Can Help. I didn't listen to it. The song was a hit throughout most of Europe and also reached #1 in Australia. It was so successful in Norway that it charted for 37 weeks on the Norwegian charts, making it the 4th best performing single of all time in that country. Who knew? Norway. They have their own chart. But isn't Norway tiny? I mean, just saying, it's not a bad thing. It is what it is. 1974, the Rolling Stones. This time, no one did anything bad, but that's coming up. Don't worry, it's still happening. Don't fear. The Rolling Stones are only good news. The Rolling Stones scored their 5th U.S. #1 album with its only rock and roll. The album, which was the last Stones album for guitarist Mick Taylor, peaked at #2 in the UK and went on to chart in 20 other countries. Yes, of course there's going to be bad things that happen. Why wouldn't there? I mean, it's the Rolling Stones. In 1975, Queen started a 9-week run at #1 in the UK singles chart with Bohemian Rhapsody. The promotional video that accompanied the song is generally acknowledged as being the first pop video, and it only cost around $7,500 to produce. Wait, we're going to get to ridiculous numbers in a few minutes. When the band wanted to release the single, various record executives suggested to them that at 5 minutes and 55 seconds, it was way too long and would never be a hit. And you saw that in the movie Bohemian Rhapsody, where Michael Myers played the executive who was just like, wankers, that's not going to work. Now, we knew Jerry Lee Lewis was a crazy person. I've actually talked about this, but this is you gotta love this guy, okay? This is why he was, in fact, the killer. In 1976, 10 hours after his last arrest, 10 hours, Jerry Lee Lewis was nicked again. He got arrested again, 10 hours after his arrest. This time for brandishing a Derringer pistol outside Elvis Presley's Graceland mansion. In Memphis, Tennessee, he demanded to see the king. When police arrived, they found Lewis was sitting in his car with a loaded Derringer resting on his knee. He was drunk. Drinking may have been involved. He was drunk. But yes, got arrested, and then 10 hours later, arrested again. You got to give the man credit. He was the killer for a reason, man. Jerry Lee Lewis. Bring it on, brother. Back to Pink Floyd. In 1979, they released Another Brick in the Wall Part 2. The song rapidly topped the charts in the UK, followed by the US, and further 9 other countries it became number 1. Featuring children from the Islington Green School in North London, close to Floyd's Britannia Road studios, it was the group's first UK single since Point Me at the Sky in 1968, and their first chart hit since See Emily Play in 1967. So while Pink Floyd got lots and lots of love, they didn't get lots of chart love. I mean, there's always the story about, Pink Floyd want to go on a tour. It's like, what? We won't even fire up the jets for less than 13 million. So yeah, they made their money. Don't think that is. I have 10 emails. Nice. Greetings and salutations. Greetings and salutations. Don't forget to hit like. Greetings and salutations. I'm late to the party. What ceremony were you mastering? Oh, that was I mastered. That was I was at the now who was the guy? I forget. He was he did a movie. Everyone knew he was. Now I forget who he was. See, this is my brain rot. I was thinking about it. I was the master of ceremonies. It was at the Palace Theater. Was that the Palace? I think it was at the Palace Theater. I got to interview this guy. He's like a YouTube star, a TikTok star or something. Now I forget. Damn it. I'll try to remember. All right, see, I told you we'd get back to the Rolling Stones and being ridiculous. Keith Richards' girlfriend, Anita Palberg, was cleared by a court of shooting a man found dead in her home. Okay, now, I don't know how old she is, but a 17-year-old Scott Cantrell had shot himself in the head with a gun owned by Keith Richards while in Pallenberg's bed. This happened in South Salem, New York, and the house was shared by Richards and Pallenberg. Cantrell had been employed as a part-time groundskeeper at the estate as it was involved with a sexual relationship with Pallenberg. So Keith Richards' girlfriend, unknown age, was having an affair with a 17-year-old in her and Keith Richards' bed, and 17-year-old shot himself in the head in their bed, and she was cleared of all charges. Sure, yes, completely. Fly on the wall says, I don't know, that just seems a little, I don't know. Who knows? In 1985, blues artist Big Joe Turner died of a heart attack at age 75. The only reason we care about Big Joe... See, once it starts, man, it just goes. The only reason we care about Big Joe Turner was he wrote Shake, Rattle, and Roll for Bill Haley and his Comets, as well as Sweet 16. So that's why we know Joe Turner. Genesis scored their 5th #1 album with We Can't Dance, featuring the singles Jesus, He Knows Me, and I Can't Dance. It was their 5th UK #1 album. This was 1991 for Genesis fans. I'd never really loved Genesis. They were okay, but just wasn't. Also in 91, Michael Jackson had his 4th UK #1 single with Black and White, which featured Slash from Guns N' Roses on guitar. Now, we're going to get to Guns N' Roses in a minute, because there's a couple of Guns N' Roses things. One, I'm just like, seriously? And the other one, I'm like, seriously? I guess I never really followed Guns N' Roses' career that much to know all this stuff about that. So I'm always kind of like, all right, interesting, to say the least. In 1994, Tommy Boyce, also a singer-songwriter, committed suicide. Tommy Boyce was 55. The reason we care about Tommy Boyce was he wrote the songs for the Monkees. Last Train to Clarksville, I'm Not Your Stepping Stone. He also wrote Scooby-Doo, Where Are You? And sold over 40 million records. That's how we know Tommy Boyce. That's why we care. Southern Theater. This is Todd, by the way. Not sure what name change the username. All right, hi Todd. Yeah, my heater keeps going off, Todd. It's I have to pay penance for it. So we're gonna have to figure out when I forget to do it what happens there. Southern Theater. Some of us love Genesis. You're seeing one in Grove City that lived in Indian Trails, right? Too much E-drums. Yeah, I know. I agree. All right. So this is. In 2002, Otis Redding's widow and his former band manager filed a lawsuit against an author of biography written in 2001 about the R&B legend, claiming the book was filled with lies. The lawsuit, filed in Atlanta's Fulton County Court, sought for $15 million in damages and claimed that the book detailed rumors about the singer's drug use, extramarital affairs, and divorce, causing harm to the plaintiff. It was also cited rumors that Otis's manager plotted with the mafia to kill Otis by causing the plane to crash in order to claim the $1 million in life insurance. I didn't see what the result of that was. I figured that's kind of a little frivolous. Unless the mafia really killed Otis for $1 million. I'm just saying. In 2005, Dan McTeague, a Toronto MP, tried to have 50 Cent barred from entering Canada to perform a series of concerts later this year. Mick Teague, had sent a letter to Immigration Minister Joe Volpe claiming that the controversial rapper shouldn't be permitted to cross the border because he promotes gun violence. Those Canadians. All you had to do is check and see if he had a drunk driving charge and they don't let you into Canada. I mean, you're a criminal. Stay out. Just saying. All right, so you'll see why this is ridiculous in a second. 15 years after their first album, 15 years, Guns N' Roses released Chinese Democracy in the U.S. Okay, this was an exclusive release in the electronic store Best Buy. Now, 9 years earlier, I had to take extra notes on this one because I had to go find this out and was like, that's nuts. So 9 years earlier, Geffen Records paid Axl Rose $1 million to finish the album, with a further $1 million if he handed it to them by March of 1999. Okay? It was their sixth and last album to date. It took 8 years after that to get the production done. It turned out to be the most expensive rock album in history. The final cost for producing the album was $13 million. I was like, wait, are you kidding me? $13 million to produce one album. Yes, I would see where that is the most expensive rock album in history. Now, the funny part is that if you go forward just a little bit to 2019, accounts showed that Guns N' Roses, not in this Lifetime tour, had raked in more than $500 million during its 3-year run, grossing $590 million. The tour, which kicked off in 2016, sold 5,400,000 tickets, making it the third highest grossing tour according to Billboard Box Score. So I guess the $13 million was worth it because they made $500 million touring, but still, that's just crazy shit. So yes, I did not realize Guns N' Roses was that big of a band personally. I'm just, even what? Now what again? What the? Oh, see, the camera you use. Camera, it's just chaos. Like I said, I was so busy getting the room set up tonight that I only have 2 cameras working. That's it. I've got that one and that one. See, it's a little bit of a different angle. It's a little further away. I've got that one. The GoPro's not working. I can't put stuff on the little black screen right there. I just have a black hole. And I don't know the password to my laptop. What the hell? You tried to warn me. I know. I know. You did. All right. In 2012, the Quarrymen, which we know is the Beatles, accordingly, in a new list of the 200 rarest records ever published in the Record Collectors magazine, the original acetate of the pre-Beatles demo by the Quarrymen of That'll Be the Day was worth $350,000. Several other Beatles albums figured in the top 20. Low-numbered copies of the Beatles' White Album has said to be worth around 12 grand, though a copy of a mono White Album, 0000005, sold for $30,000 in 2009. So I guess they were all numbered. I think my number is like a million. A lot. Oh, yes. Taylor Swift, 2015, dominated American Music Awards, prizes, winning, everything. Yes. Blah, blah, blah. We know. All of that stuff. She's amazing. She's great. I don't even know if I want to deal with this one. This is just like the last one of the day is Sean Combs. Do we really care about Sean Puffy Dad Combs at this point? Basically, you know, this is an accusation of him basically drugging, raping, videotaping, all that stuff. So, 2023, Sean Combs, douche of the day. There you go. I'm just not going to read the whole thing. I don't really care. It's like, really, just a little bit too much for me. A little bit too much. Sorry. Just like, bro, really, just. 1954, Bruce Hornsby is born. He's 71 today. Also, Tom Marth, who was in the Killers, but he was in the Killers for a couple of years because he died at 32 in 2012. Wah, wah, wah. Miley Cyrus, 33 years old today, born in 1992. When I was in LA and I went to that K-Rock Music Christmas, we saw Miley for a second in the same space as us. She had an entourage buzzing around her. She was hooked up. It was very funny. I was just like, well, wow, she looks hammered. Okay. And then born in 1887 and died in 1969 at the age of 82, Boris Karloff, the Frankenstein monster. Creep. Yep, indeed. Died on this day, Larry Hagman. Who shot JR? I don't know, but he was JR. He was also I Dream of Jeannie. You know, he was mastered. Bink, I Dream of Jeannie. So I didn't really watch the whole Dallas thing, so I didn't really know about who shot JR. Didn't care. Still don't. Andrew Sachs died in this day. He was 86. He was Manuel in Fawlty Towers. You ever watch that show, Fawlty Towers? It was one of those British comedies that you just had to kind of get into. It just was dumb and funny. I guess I grew up liking Monty Python, so anything that had Monty Python characters in it. Basil Fawlty, Basil, was funny. Anyway, he was Manuel. 2024, Chuck Woolery died on this day. Chuck Woolery, remember, he was in Love Connection. He did The Wheel of Fortune. He was 83 years old. So Chuck Woolery, game show host extraordinaire. All right. There you go. What do we got going on here? Spam, spam, spam. Right, bacon and spam. Now, did I bring it home? I thought I did. I have it somewhere. Wait, it's not here, is it? I found my can of Spam from Spam-A-Lot, and it is Spam-A-Lot. It's an actual label of can of Spam, but it's Spam-A-Lot. I saw it with Henry David Hyde Pierce was in it, and Frank Azaria on Broadway. I tell you that. Took my friend Al with me. Al's kind of definitely the first and only time he's ever been to a Broadway show. I can absolutely guarantee that. I think he had fun because we stopped at a lot of bars beforehand, and the intermission we stopped at a bar, and after the show. So I think he had fun. But besides that, no, that was just not his cup of tea. He was not a Broadway kind of play guy. Hey, look, man, you got to enjoy all the things. You know, entertainment's entertainment. You have to love that stuff. Just saying. So yes, I started to watch the show that I'm watching at the current is I just spaced. Enough stops, not enough bars, and anything can be fun. Exactly, it's true. That's exactly what it is. Enough stops at enough bars makes anything fun, or sends me to jail after enough stops at enough bars. Makes me like a rock star, and I have interaction with the police, which is never a good thing. I'm not good at interacting with the police. Just, it always results in bad results for me. Just saying. What was I going on? I was going somewhere when I was watching. Oh, Abstentia. I'm watching Abstentia right now. So I'm a few episodes into it. Seems like it's okay. It's all right. It's a, thing. Again, just got to do something. Late night TV. That's my thing. I get up early, work all day, little late night TV, lay on the couch, fall asleep on the couch, wake up, go to bed 3 o'clock in the morning, get up, do it again. Rinse, repeat, and then do this. So yes, I am going to try and have something very special for Friday, Black Friday. So something for Black Friday. I'm trying to have it done before then, so I've been working diligently on it. And yeah, that's it. That's going to be an interesting week because it's a holiday week, so all sorts of things, people won't be working and things will be happening, traffic will be crazy, and I don't travel, so that's the best part about Thanksgiving for me. I literally don't travel. I'm here. I get to stay in my home. Nobody visits. It's just a very, very intimate Thanksgiving. It's a beautiful thing. I have to deal with my crazy drunk uncle, because I actually have a crazy drunk uncle. He's awesome, but he's a crazy drunk uncle for sure. We all have a crazy drunk uncle, don't we? He's definitely that. He's definitely a crunkle. Crazy drunk uncle. Enough stops and enough bars can make anything fun. Yes, I agree. That is absolutely how it works. Enough stops at a bar can make anything fun. I have to make that a t-shirt. Enough stops, not enough bar. All right, I like that. My turducken. Exactly. My turducken. All right. I'm going to say adieu, and I'm going to go hit the couch and work on figuring out what the password is for my laptop, which I cannot believe I don't have. I'm really, really kind of disappointed in my own brain for not remembering it. It hasn't been that long since I've used that computer. Has it? 2 years? Maybe it's been 2 years. Crap. Shit. All right. Anyway, yeah. I'll get the Death Star moved back up to its normal height, which is like here somewhere. I'll try and get something so I don't just get this little black box anymore. So I'll actually try and get something in there. Besides that, I'm trying to make the background more exciting and more appealing. Stuff that's, less distracting. So you focus on me, just me. We'll see how that works out for me. Besides that, I don't know. I might start reviewing music. I might start trying to find at least a new song once or twice a week and review some new music. Because I keep listening to old stuff. And I've got all my playlists. I've got my Ramones playlist and my Oasis playlist and all the British song playlists, Stone Roses and everything else. So, Chromebooks are rad. It's not a Chromebook, damn it. It's an HP Bang & Olufsen Envy. And I envy the fact that my brain doesn't work anymore. Anyway, all right. So I have to reach way over here now to fade to black because I moved everything and it's spread out a little bit more. So I will fade backwards and fade to black. Thank you. Appreciate you. Don't forget to hit like, hit notifications, all that stuff. And we'll do this again tomorrow, but different as we get closer to Thanksgiving and we do things that are thankful. So we'll be thankful. Thank you. Fade to black. How the hell? Oh, there it is. End stream.